And we have actually fooled ourselves into believing are Christian. The next one would be Easter. This one, let's face it, this one is extremely popular. This one is supposed to be the resurrection of Jesus Christ, correct? And yet, you're going to find out Easter and the resurrection of Jesus Christ have absolutely nothing in common. Now, if you remember in Genesis, at the Tower of Babel, and this is the classic rendition of the Tower of Babel itself, the people there had sinned against God. They formed a one-world government under a one-world people, under a one-world language, under a one-world tongue, under a one-world religion, which was the occult. The co-founders of this occult religion was Nimrod and Semiramis. God did not want this to happen. So in order to get these people to finally break away from this and their sin, he confused their language. The people went throughout the entire world. Now think about this for a second. When these people left, do you think that they forgot anything? Do you think that they suddenly forgot their occult religion? Do you think they finally that they forgot where they came from and what they did? Of course they didn't. When we take a look at the next great empire that came about after Babylon, we see something very interesting here. Now down here is a great pyramid of Giza. It's on the Giza Plateau in Egypt. But if you look at the top one, that is what's known as a step pyramid. It was one of the earliest pyramids ever built. It was built by the pharaoh Djoser. Isn't that the exact formation that they were building the Tower of Babylon with? Something very interesting is happening to us both historically and prophetically. It all started in Babylon as far as our civilization goes. A one-world religion, one-world people under a one-world language, one financial system, so on and so forth. It's going to come around, and according to the scriptures, we're going to have Babylon all over again. We're going to have this one-world order under a one-world people, under a one-world occult religion. We're doomed to repeat history because we did not learn the mistakes of it. We have really gone off the mark. But as I stated before, you will notice, same formation. What is even more interesting, how many people have heard of the European Common Market? And that they're trying to create a one-world monetary system known as the European Unit. Here is their official logo. What is that? Right, that's the Tower of Babylon again. Look at the inscription down here. Europe, many tongues, one voice. They want to reverse and undo what God did. God took one voice and turned it into many languages. They want to take those many languages and unite them under one voice, just one people again. The five-pointed stars up there, those are inverted pentafors. Those are the common symbols that are used by those people in Satanism. But there is also something very peculiar going on here. I want you to pay very close attention to this next transparency, and you'll see why they're in the formation they're at. You look at the very top of this next transparency, and I think you'll see what I'm talking about. The oldest symbol in existence for Nimrod is the pentaphor. Notice it is above or crowning Babylon itself. This is completely telling you that the occult religion is going to be the head over this new Babylon. We're going back to where we started. If you remember in your scriptures, when Paul was going through Rome, Greece, the whole empire, Well, Paul himself was not noted as a quiet man. If nothing else, Paul himself, let's face it, got into a bit of trouble. Thrown into prison at least 3 times. They tried to stone him to death. They definitely ran him out of town many times. And there was one particular event, if you people will recall it in the scriptures, where they actually were trying to get into this one temple and trying to tell these people, you're not supposed to be worshiping these false gods. And if you remember, this was in the city of Ephesus. These people were worshiping a goddess known as Diana. Remember how at the end they were shouting for hours afterwards, great is Diana of the Ephesians? They were doing this for a reason, but if you look at this list over here, Semiramis and Nimrod, their names are the only thing that change in the entire occult world. The practices are the same, but because the people went to Egypt, to Mesopotamia, to the Median Persian Empire, to Greece, to Rome, to Great Britain, and finally to America, the names were changed because of culture. The practices are still the same. Remember, when it finally got to Egypt, the sun god, which is what Nimrod was, is now known as Ra, the sun god. The moon goddess is now Isis. That's all that happened. The names changed, but the beliefs remained the same. When Paul finally got to Ephesus, the goddess that they were shouting about is Diana. This is one of the oldest statues that represents the goddess Diana. This is who they were making a big stink about back then. They were standing up in that temple for hours praising and worshiping this statue. Now remember, as I told you before, Semiramis is a fertility goddess. It is for this reason that you will notice that Diana is a many-breasted figure. It is still a fertility goddess. It did not change. The only thing that changed was the name. Again, if we go to the Roman belief system, their empire, we will look at Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. And she is also a fertility goddess. These are the pagan people that the people in Egypt were worshiping. Now, why are they worshiping a fertility goddess? What's going on? How did this bring about Easter? According to those legends, which are still found in the occult world today, after the first year when Semiramis had died, a giant multicolored egg had fallen out of heaven and landed in the Euphrates River. It washed ashore and landed in a pile of wicker reed. You've seen wicker furniture before, correct? We know how strong and durable that stuff can be. Out of this egg, Semiramis, in her reincarnated form as a spring goddess, broke out and would bless those followers of hers. Now, first of all, this is where you get the multicolored egg, the Easter egg, from. This is also where you get the Easter basket from. And the reason you get the word Easter is because of the Babylonian. In the Babylonian Talmud, if you check on the name of Easter, it is properly spelled I-S-H-T-A-R. It got confused, a lot of people got this confused, with the Egyptian rendition of it. A lot of people thought it was Ishtar. But if you check the original transliteration, the Babylonian one, it is still pronounced Easter to this very day. That is just another name for Semiramis, the moon goddess, or the fertility goddess of the occult world. Now, how many people, be honest, have ever attended a sunrise service? Just raise your hand. If you've ever gone, of course we have.